There's a lot of women that, or not women, feminists. When I say women, sometimes I really just mean feminists. Those are the ones I have a problem with. Women are great. Feminists are trash. How y'all doing today? Today, we got something to talk about. And I need to drink some water. I put this water in here like 6 hours ago. Still ice cold. Cheap thing from Ross. So, still a little bit of echo, but it's not as bad as it was. As you can see, I've got some acoustic panels back there now. So, let's move it on a little bit fast. So, today we're featuring Maker's Mark 46. I've never had Maker's Mark. I know. How are you a bourbon guy if you never had Maker's Mark? Well, we'll get to it. But I'm going to explain the point of this video. And I hope that the algorithm has driven this into a lot of feminists' feed, because y'all need to hear this. Y'all have gotten out of control, and you've been out of control for a while. And everybody's sick of you. It's not just men, but women are sick of you too, because you're making things worse. And I'll explain a little bit of that, but I'll also explain why y'all need to just shut your mouths and be grateful. And I know you don't like hearing that from a man, but that's fine. You know, you need to understand that you are benefiting from a world that men built, and you hate it. And you hate it, which is crazy. But first up, for the bourbon lovers, let's move on and open this up. Oh, okay, it's tougher to open than I thought it would be. It's also sticky. Like I said, I've never had Maker's Mark, but we're gonna change that today. How's this? Is it a? Oh, it's a. Oh, I thought it was gonna be a cork. So, as always, tasting in the Glencairn glass first. Oh, that pours out quick. All right. Bourbon's good. It's good for the mind. Not really. That's a lie. It's definitely not good for the mind. But it tastes good. What's the proof on this? 47%. It doesn't smell like 47%. It doesn't really bite the nose. It smells pretty sweet. We'll see. We'll see how it tastes. You do get that, it's a little strong. 47%, like I said. What is that, like 100 proof? I can't remember. I don't know. That's really good by itself. That is good by itself. So, let's drop it down in here. Oh, yeah. Into the rocks glass, as always. And just a little bit more, so we have a full on the rocks run here. That is very good. I can see what all the hype's about with Maker's Mark 46. I've had this for a little while. This is it. I was outside today, earlier, shooting, and I have a video on that I'll be doing too. Pollen, God, man, I'm so ready for just the spring to be over. So, I was on Instagram, and about a week ago, I wish I could pull this up, but I can't. I don't have I screenshotted it and sent it to somebody to laugh at. But there was some kind of post. It was like a men's thing, you know, for men's health, about how men these days were just having it a little bit rough in different ways. And I can make a video about that, but there's a lot of videos about it already. And some woman, a very young woman, commented on there, "I'm so sick of men and their victim complexes." And, you know, I took pretty quick offense to that. I don't have a victim complex. I've never had the only time I've ever had what I would call a victim complex is when I was dating a feminist, my ex-wife. Well, she was a staunch super feminist, and she became more and more feminist over time. And her victim mentality rubbed off onto me while we were together. And when I realized that had happened, that was not long before we finally split up. And immediately my life got better. So I'm sitting here telling you that feminism is like a virus. It corrupts your mind and makes you hate everything. And that's what I want to speak on about today, because feminists need to understand that they only have the privilege of complaining about all the things they complain about because they live in a better society than most of the world. They're not in Iran or Syria or Afghanistan where they have to cover up. You know, if you're in the Western world and a woman, you have it good. You have it better than any woman has in history. And you're ungrateful and being an asshole about it to men, which is insane to me. But anyway, well, like I'm saying right now, men built the world that women are benefiting from. They benefit from a world that they hate, which is, it sounds like it's crazy, right? It sounds crazy because it is. You know, men built the roads that you drive on. Men maintain those roads that you drive on. And yeah, there's some women in construction. I know most of the things I'm going to say, there are a small percentage of women, but these are all male-dominated things. Okay? And it's not because they're keeping women out. It's because women don't want to do a lot of this stuff. So men do it. Men have always done it. And they don't get online and complain about it all the damn time. So maybe just shut your mouth and listen to what I have to say for a second. You know, let me finish what I have to say before you jump down in the comments and start complaining, because that's exactly my point, is y'all don't listen. So, like I said, men built the roads that you drive to go to work, that you can go on your little travel trips. You go to Target. Men built the Target. You know, construction's a male-dominated field. There's some women, but it's mostly men. And women don't want to do it. Men do it. So, your homes that you live in, one home I live in right now, the home that you live in, the home you grew up in, that was built by a man. It was built by a man. You gonna be mad about that? Mad about having a shelter over your head? Go ahead, you can be mad at it all you want. The cities that you live in and go to work in, the entire cities, all the buildings, the infrastructure, the power grid that keeps your lights on, that keeps these lights on, that keeps your chargers in the wall so that you can charge up your phones and scroll on TikTok all day. And you get on social media to complain about men. Guess what? That social media was also built and run by men. It just is. It just is. And you're complaining about it. Like I said, your phones, your clothes that you have on your back. Now, I'm not saying the clothes were built or made by men. I think that as far as like textiles and manufacturing, that might be a female-dominated thing, but generally it's run by men. Generally, men design those clothes. I think. I could be wrong about that one, but most of that industry is probably run by men. I do know for a fact that farmers that grow your food and distribute the food, and the truckers that transport that food from the farm to the warehouses, to the distribution centers, to the processing centers, and into your glorious little Trader Joe's that I love, all run by men. All run by men. There are a lot of female truck drivers, you know, and I encourage women to get into trucking. I do it, but it's a male-dominated industry because most women don't want to do it. Most women that I meet say they can never do that job, and they're right. So men do it. You wouldn't own anything. Everything in this building, everything that you have, is because of a man. Everything. I mean, even the internet, literally the internet that you use to complain about men is run by men. It was built and run by men, the network infrastructure and the power grid. All this is connected. The water that you drink, this water right here, and this was bottled water, but your tap water that you run to feed your pets and water your plants, your succulents, your little cacti, and to cook. I mean, I use tap water to cook. And all that, the treatment facilities and all of the plumbing and the pumps and reservoirs and everything, hydroelectric dams for power. That's all run by men. You wouldn't have running water if it weren't for men. You wouldn't have a hot water heater to take your steaming hot showers. I don't know how y'all do that. How do you do that? How do you not get burnt? You wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for men. Because guess what? If that hot water heater breaks, who's going to come to fix it? When you call somebody to fix it, I've literally never had a woman show up to fix something. I've never had a woman to show up to fix something. Now, there are female mechanics, but generally that's a man. But like plumbing, electricity, fixing a hot water heater, HVAC, stuff like that, electricians, general handymen are called handymen because it's almost always men. But yet you complain that men are all terrible. I think you should start to see the irony of your complaining about now, but I'm nowhere near done. The furniture, this chair, that bed, all my couch back there, everything, all your furniture, most likely built by men. And again, transported in trucks driven by men into stores that are most likely run by men. Yeah. And you're still complaining about it. Wars. Oh, I didn't even go into the original point about the Instagram thing. So, speaking on wars. So, this woman comments on there and says that she's tired of men with their victim complexes. And I commented back that her line of thinking and general modern feminism is the reason men are starting to think they are victims, because they're constantly told that they are useless and worthless. And that's what probably prompted me to make this video after the comment after that. So I said that, and then somebody else comments on there. So you blame women for retarded men thinking that they fight literal wars. Now this was another stupid feminist idiot. So I let her have it, and I said, yeah, men do fight literal wars, you dumbass. I've been in two. What have you done? And then I got blocked. I guess that was a gotcha. So that's what prompted me to make the video. So yeah, men fight wars. There are women in wars. Actually, there's some pretty badass accounts of women, especially in World War II. There was a Russian lady whose family was killed by Nazis. And she went out and stole a Nazi tank and started mowing down Nazis. That's badass. So I'm not saying that there aren't women that do things like this, but in general, men fight the wars. I've been in two. Men fought in World War I and II, the Revolutionary War. Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan, that wasn't really for us, but it was generally men. But yeah, you wouldn't have the privilege of sitting on the internet and being a total piece of trash and bashing men if it wasn't for men fighting wars to ensure that you have the comfort in your own home to do that. You're not sitting in Afghanistan getting bombed. You're not in Israel getting bombed. You know, yeah, I'm saying like men are running the planes that are doing that. I'm not saying that some men aren't doing terrible things, but that's a war. That's a different story. And yeah, some men do terrible things, but we'll talk about that later if I remember. Back to men. Ladies, you wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for men, because you can't come into existence. You can't be procreated with two women. There has to be sperm that fertilizes an egg, and then that turns into a fetus, and that becomes you. At some point, there was a man that brought you into this. Well, the woman brought you into this world. Your mother did. But a man set that into motion. Okay? You wouldn't exist if it wasn't for men. And I'm sure a lot of these feminists probably didn't have great dads, but a lot of them do have great dads. So you have fathers that provided for you and took care of you and raised you to be a decent person, and you're choosing to be a total piece of trash and saying that men are terrible. But when men say, oh, what about your dad? Don't you like your dad? Oh, well, no, he's great. Okay, then stop saying men. Stop saying men. Say some men. I don't know. Or just don't be a feminist piece of crap. I don't know how to explain it any more than that. So there's a lot of women that, or not women, feminists. When I say women, sometimes I really just mean feminists. Those are the ones I have a problem with. Women are great. Feminists are trash. So a lot of feminists now, actually just feminists in general, I guess, they're going through the streets protesting. At least I think that's what the protests are about. I'm not really sure, because I try to limit my intake of the news these days because it is just depressing and annoying, and I just want to live my best life. So I think that's what's happening, and I get it. Donald Trump's in office, and women think that Donald Trump hates them. And you think that the red state is taking all their rights away. Now, again, I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not conservative. I'm more liberal than anything. I just don't like feminists. So I truly don't just believe this. I know it for a fact that modern feminism played a huge part in getting Donald Trump elected. You don't like that? Too bad, because here's why. You constantly told men, especially young men, you constantly told them how bad they are, how they're a problem, how everything they do creates strife and chaos and negativity in the world. So you know what those young men did that probably were on your side in the first place? They said, I don't like being told that I'm trash just for existing. I'm going to vote for the guy that's saying he's going to shut y'all up. That's what they did. That's not the only reason there was a big, huge swing to red, but that's a big part of it. A huge part of it. So, don't complain. You helped him get elected. You did that. I think that modern feminists are delusional. Absolutely delusional. Because of all the things that I listed here, they seem to just don't believe that that's a thing. They think that women should just run the world. That's never happened. Probably never will happen, because women just don't do that. They don't have the mindset for that. They just don't. They don't have the physicality for that. Some do. Most don't. They just don't. And I'm not sitting here saying women should just shut up and be moms and stay at home. Like, no. I actually, when I date, I'm not dating now. I just took a long break. But when I do date, I actually like women that have gotten somewhere in their career, that are intelligent. I like that. I'm attracted to that. So you'll say stuff like this, and a lot of women or feminists will be like, well, you're just intimidated or you're insecure. Like, no, I actually like the strong and independent type, as long as they're not an insufferable piece of crap feminist. Like, that's just how it is. I just don't like that. So also, I think I've mentioned this before. You're only able to get on the internet and complain about all this because of your free speech. The First Amendment. You're privileged. You're coming from a place of privilege to be able to complain the way you do. And when somebody says, hey, could you just not, do that way? It's okay to complain about things if you don't like them. But to condemn an entire gender because you're just mad that a couple of guys did something bad to you, that's crazy. I've been abused by women. I've had women take advantage of me multiple times. I've been cheated on by at least 2 different women that I know for sure. I never have. I've never done that. Do I hate women? No, absolutely not. I love women. Women are great. I just don't like feminists because they are delusional and crazy. Men give you the world. Men work tirelessly, 24/7, around the world to give women everything. If it wasn't for women, most men honestly wouldn't keep going. They just wouldn't. A lot of men's purpose is providing for their wife and their children. That's a lot of men's purpose. That's their purpose on this planet. And if men don't have purpose, they start to wonder, why am I even trying? Why am I here? And they take themselves out of this world. And some feminists will say, good. They shouldn't be here. They'll say, men deserve to die. We don't need you. To that, I say, you're a piece of shit. You're stupid, and you're a piece of shit. And when you say something like that, you'll inevitably get Oh, you're angry. No, just another angry man. Just another emotional man. I'm not angry. I'm offended. I am offended by modern feminists. I'm not offended by a woman saying she wants equal pay. You should want equal pay. You should get equal pay. And by law, in the United States at least, you get equal pay for doing the same job. If you can't do the same job, you don't get equal pay. And that goes for men too. So I'm not angry. I'm not emotional. You know, I have a video I'll do on that. How women are just constantly trying to say that men are the more emotional sex. No, men are not more emotional than women. That is a fact. So I'll just explain that in a different video. But you're not even just delusional and privileged. You're just ungrateful. And I know a lot of women hate hearing that. Oh, I don't want to hear a man say, that's narcissistic. No, it is narcissistic to be as ungrateful as you are and go out in public with your shirt off, with your boobs out, as if that's going to do anything, and protest everything. Feminism. Okay. You know what? Jokingly, I say this, but it's true. The quickest way to get a man to never listen to you is to throw your boobs in his face. So I don't see what these like half-naked protesters are going to accomplish ever. Like, what are you doing? Nobody's hearing you. Nobody hears you because there's boobs. Men are simple in that fact. We like them. Sorry. I shouldn't apologize for that, but I do. But I do. I think it's ungrateful and a little narcissistic. And you're cruel. Modern feminists are just cruel people. Like I said before, a lot of them really wish death on men in general. They don't want men to be here. I saw something a while ago. Is it Y chromosome that determines a man? I can't remember if it's X or Y, but it was something like the Y chromosome has disappeared, which means that men are starting to disappear. And I remember I commented just jokingly on this, and it was like men got so tired of how the world was that they just started noping out. And out of existence. I don't know. This was a long time ago. It was like 2 years ago. And this crazy woman gets on there and says, yeah, good. We don't need you here. The world would be better without you here. And that's why I'm doing this video. Because how delusional do you have to be to believe your own crap when you hear yourself when you say that? Do you understand how stupid that is to say? Because it's stupid. It's stupid and cruel. And a lot of people, when they say stuff like this, and they'll say, "Oh, well, you're just a misogynist and you hate women." No, misogyny is the general disdain and possible hatred of women. No, I'm not misogynist. I love women. Women are great. My grandma. I was raised by my grandma. I mentioned in a past video that my actual biological mother disappeared. I had never met my dad. My actual biological mother disappeared. My grandma raised me, and my grandma is awesome. She's still here. She made sure that I was not only fed and clothed well, even though we were poor. I never went hungry. I always had clothes that were decent, and I always was involved in either sports or ROTC or church or something like that. She made sure, Boy Scouts, she made sure I was in all of that so that I would grow up to be a good man. That's a great woman. She didn't have to take me in. That's a great woman. I have female friends. I don't really hang out with women unless I'm dating them, hang out with them in person. But I do. I talk to my female friends online a good bit, and they're awesome. They're awesome women. They're intelligent, and they all are married to great men. And they appreciate those great men. Some of them have careers. Some of them are stay-at-home wives, but they're great women. They're not feminists. I don't know a single great feminist because you're all pieces of crap. You're all just mean, cruel, bitter, hateful, sexist monsters. You just are. I tell people that modern feminism is a cancer to this world. It is destroying society from the inside out. You can call me whatever you want. You can call me red pill, call me misogynist, I don't know, incel, which I don't think you understand what the definition of incel is, because you could probably go look that up. That's not me. I'm not, I don't think I'm undesirable to the opposite sex, so I'm noping out a relationship. That's not me. So, I don't know. You need to accept the reality check. You know, I don't think you will, but feminists need this reality check and they need to accept it, or continue just being a piece of trash. You know, one or the other. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is mission possible to not be a piece of crap. Feminists they've become what they claimed to hate, and that is a hateful, bitter, sexist, prejudiced, cruel, and evil person. That's what you are. You are a downright, just gremlin. You're gremlins. You're terrible. It's not hard to be kind to people. It's not hard. I've had some crazy crap happen to me. I've been abused by women. I've been taken advantage of, as I said before, but I'm still kind to women unless they show up and insult me as a man because they're a feminist. I'm not going to be kind at that point. But in general, I'm kind to everyone. You know, when you meet somebody, just be kind. There's no reason to just completely unsolicited be a jerk to everybody, or especially men that have given you so much. You don't have to be like that. Oh, I want to be like that. Well, okay, if you want to be like that, then you're not helping. You're not helping. And generally, I'm just like, hey, could you not do that? But if you insult me, I'm going to insult you back. I don't take the high road. I will 100% go ham. I will cook you. I actually enjoy doing that. I'm a debater. I can't help it. So, I don't know. It's not hard to just not be a piece of crap, because if you're acting like a piece of crap, no matter what happened before, if you are now acting like a piece of crap, a piece of crap abused you, or possibly you, I just bleeped myself, it feels weird, or or beat you or hurt you or another woman, that guy's a piece of crap. But if you now are acting like a piece of crap to every guy because of that guy, you're now a piece of crap. And pieces of crap just create pieces of crap. That's all they do. They just breed more pieces of crap. Because feminists are creating more incels and red pill guys. Again, that's not who I am. I'm just calling y'all out. Call me whatever you want. But they just create more incels and red pill guys. And the red pill guys get on the internet and they just talk trash to women in general. And it creates more super feminists. And you're just corrupting everybody. It is eating society. You can be a feminist, but not be a misandrist. If you hate misogyny so much, and you think it's so bad, then why do you think misandry is okay? Why do you think it's okay to hate men for existing? It's not. Y'all need to really look deep within and ask yourself, am I being a piece of shit? Because you are. I don't know. Just be a nice person. It'll get you further in life, and it'll make you happier. I'm just saying. The more negative you are, was it the CIA that confirmed that manifestation was real? Don't all you feminists? Half of y'all are Wiccans or witches, Don't y'all believe in manifestation? Well, if you're negative all the time and you're constantly talking trash to people and bashing other people, you invite negativity into your life, and your life becomes crap because of it. And that is why y'all are so hateful, because you're manifesting all this negativity into your own world. Be kind, be nice, be kind, rewind. Some of y'all probably don't even know where that's from. It's Blockbuster, because I'm old. Y'all have a good one.